Okay, this is going to be the third time that I'm starting this reading vlog. So last week I started to do a reading vlog and then I couldn't finish it because I got a cold and I lost my voice, because I lose my voice if I have the sniffles. It's ridiculous. Love that for me. Anyway, it ended up being a great week for me to not have to scrap a vlog because I read Secret Project 2, which I gave it a dedicated video, and people are so spoiler sensitive. Some people are so spoiler sensitive for these books that it works for me not to talk about it in a vlog. And then I started a book that I was loving at first and then rage quit. So it ended up being a good week to skip. So what I've read instead is Feet of Clay. This is also getting a dedicated review. I'm actually about to sit down and record the review for this right now. And it's gonna be spoiler filled. This is the third book in the City Watch arc for the Discworld series. So since it's a bit in the series, I'll be super brief, but I loved it. It continued on with a lot of the main themes and discussions that have already been brought up and explored in the previous two books. It continued to explore those, as well as bringing in new themes and new topics of discussion that Terry just really wanted to dig into. Brought in some new characters, a new entire group of people and their whole story and the way they're treated. It was just, yeah, I'm really enjoying these books. Let's see, the review's going up before this. I'm probably not going to continue on with the City Watch arc right now. I think I'm actually gonna backtrack and start reading chronologically. I discuss it all in the review, so if you're reading these books with me and you care, you probably already know. But if you didn't watch that review, I think I'm gonna do Color of Magic next. Unless the internet yells at me really, really loud, then I'll probably become confused again. But that's the goal. So, loved Feet of Clay. I am also currently listening to the audiobook for The Warrior's Apprentice, which is a sci-fi book. I don't know when it was written, but it reads like it's kind of old. Yeah, okay, 1986. Yeah, it reads like it's a little bit dated. So this is a sci-fi. This follows a boy named Miles, 17-year-old boy who lives in this world where strength and physical ability are very, very highly valued. And because of an attack, a circumstance, a thing that happened to his parents when he was still in his mother's womb, he was born with a physical disability. And because of that, he is very strongly looked down on. In this world, in this culture, people with physical disabilities are oftentimes just killed at birth because strength and physical ability are so important in this world. And just the same, women are also very strongly looked down on in this world. And so we have Miles, and then we also have his best friend, who is a 17-year-old girl, and they both have these great aspirations for their life, but are very much the underdogs in the situation that they're in. Some of the language used in the book are a little bit dated, and Miles' perspective is definitely told from the perspective of someone who has been treated as if he's less than because of his disability his entire life, and he's trying to fight through that and work through that, but also has a lot of mentalities that were born from that bad behavior that has been surrounding him his whole life. So know that going in, because I know that can be kind of a sensitive portrayal here in the beginning. I'm sure he's gonna have an arc. I'm sure it's not going to stay in that way, but that is a big emphasis that's put in this book. I personally am really enjoying the way that especially Miles' disability, I'm enjoying the way it's being written. I'm not going to go into this, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to give you details, but I was born with a rare disease, and through that I grew up with physical disabilities and many physical limitations. So I did not have a good perspective. My parents were good to me, my friends were good to me, the people around me were good to me, but I did not have a good perspective on my limitations or how my limitations might affect the world around me. I didn't have a good mental perspective. So being in the mind of Miles, I'm really enjoying this. It's very relatable to me. So anyway, at the point of the book, I'm in the very beginning. At the point of the book that I'm in, Miles and his best friend, whose name I've forgotten, I'm sorry, I'll remember in the next clip, are journeying to a new world, and I don't really know anything beyond that. I assume the culture and the expectations and things hopefully might be a little bit different, and opportunities might be a little bit different, because this book starts out with him attempting to complete a physical test to be a soldier. They might have used a different word, but to be someone important in the world, and he fails. So this is him kind of getting a new start and going in another direction. So that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm really enjoying it. But I'm just listening to that on audiobook, so I will also be picking up another physical book. So, welcome to the vlog. The Warrior's Apprentice. Again, this is a prequel, and this is where I have begun with the series, so I don't know what this is leading up to. I don't know what kind of time jump we get for book 1 in this series, but I really enjoyed this as a starting point. I think this is my first book by this author, and I really liked it. I'm not 100% sold on the series yet. I'm not 100% invested to where I feel like, okay, I need to dive into now the main series right now, but I do want to continue on with the series and continue to see what it has to offer after reading this prequel. It was really cool to see Miles in this new environment and in this new situation navigate how to BS his way through it. He's a really, he has a lot of ingenuity. He has a lot of wherewithal. He has a lot of drive to do what it takes. And Elena as well is really, his best friend, the name that I couldn't remember before, is really a very strong character. She also has a lot of drive, and she also has a lot of strength and will stand up for herself and will defend herself, and I really love that about her. Yeah, it was interesting. The characters are really what sold me on this little prequel, and I'm curious to see what elements of the story we were setting up for the main series. So again, I don't feel like I have to start the next book immediately. Thankfully, my obsessive tendencies haven't been triggered because I have a couple of other series that I'm currently obsessing over, but I did enjoy it, and I will continue. I've also read the next 3 volumes of Yona over these 2 weeks because I missed last week's vlog. I've read 3 volumes of Yona, and they've all been strong, but none of them have blown me away. The story's continuing to progress. We're getting a lot of really amazing character moments still, characters standing up for each other and working together, and one character in particular that I'm finally seeing some really good growth in, which I'm super excited about, starting to open up and let the others in, which is really great. But the reason these volumes haven't quite blown me away is because I'm kind of back to being frustrated by the pacing. In the beginning I was really irritated because I felt like we were speed running everything, really good ideas just not getting fleshed out, and then we slowed down and I loved the pacing, and now I'm kind of back to being frustrated again. Really interesting ideas are being introduced and then they're done in 3 chapters or something like that, and it's frustrating because I want you to just take a full volume for this one. Mangas are always horribly long. Let this one be long too. It already is, I know. But take a full volume to explore this character getting possessed by previous forms. I won't go into it. And all that incurs in that. Don't take 3 chapters on that. I don't know. And there's all throughout these 3 volumes, the pacing has just all been very compressed. A lot of interesting things are happening, a lot of great character moments, a lot of very great plot advancement. It's just all so fast, and I want it to slow down. So still enjoying myself, still having a great time, very positive on these volumes, but Yona's pacing is not always a hit for me, and I realize that some people aren't going to feel that way, and that's great. You do you, but that is how I am feeling about these last 3 volumes. Very positive, but not over the moon excited like I have been for like 5 volumes now. I've also been reading Malazan, book 5, Midnight Tides, loving it. I'm almost done with part 1, so whenever I do, we'll check in again. Why yes, I am in the same place that I was in the last time I filmed a clip, except there are bees swarming me now. But my kids are in the house eating, and the only quiet places are here or in the basement, and the basement is cold, and here is lovely and sunny. So here we are. I have finished the first part of Malazan. I am on or about to start book 2, and it's been lovely. Still some traumatizing things happening, still some horrifying things going on, but also a lot of humor. Erickson, it's so funny because I'll read a scene and I'm like, that's a horrifying concept that you just introduced, sir. Why did you do that? And then in the next scene, he'll have this undead person having a conversation with Bug, and it's hilarious. Like, the whole dialogue was so funny. Oh, it's so great. And then now we've got these 3 brothers that are they're doing stuff. And I'm having a great time. It's really funny. Usually in part 1 of Malazan, usually I'm trying to get my bearings. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's the timeline right now? Like, where are we in the world of Malazan? And trying to figure out, okay, do I know this character? Have I been introduced to this character before? Have I forgotten about them? Trying to figure out where we are in the world and establish the new setting and the new culture, and just getting my bearings. Just being overwhelmed and trying to re-immerse myself in this world and trying to get okay. And all that is true right now as well. All that's true, but it's all happened so much faster this time than normal. Like, I feel like I've become immersed and invested and having a great time while also being horror struck. All of this is happening. I'm just like, I'm moving with the story so much faster this time than normal. And I don't know if it's because this is just good job, Erickson. You're doing a great job with the first chunk of Midnight Tides, or if it's because I am becoming a more experienced Malazan reader and I'm not stumbling over myself every 2 seconds like I have in every other book. But I'm having a great time, so good start for Midnight Tides. I will be taking this book very slowly. There are other books that I'm reading and enjoying, and again, Malazan books are just really heavy, so I like to take it slow. So I'll probably just talk about, my goal is going to be to read a section, a part, each reading vlog. So each week I'll be able to update you spoiler free on what chunk I just finished. Like, I'm entering book 2, so next week hopefully I'll be talking to you about all of book 2 before I enter into book 3. That's the goal. And then of course we'll do a spoiler chat at the end of it all, which means that on the schedule that I posted on the main channel where I put a tentative Midnight Tides review, that's probably going to be too soon. It's probably gonna, the Midnight Tides review will probably be in next week. It's probably not gonna happen it'll probably happen next month. It's probably not gonna happen this month. That's fine though. We'll be getting spoiler-free updates week to week, and part 1, wonderful. All of the key things that I love about Erikson's writing. We have the prose, we have the characters, we have the hilarious moments, we have the horrifying moments, we have the big confusion, we have a lot of world stuff going on that's very overwhelming but also really exciting, and I'm making connections, and I'm feeling like I'm getting into it. It's good. It's going well. I'm also reading The Magician's King, the sequel to The Magicians Book 2 in the Magicians trilogy. I'm not talking about it in this vlog though. I'm actually doing a dedicated video for the Magicians trilogy for the main channel. I'm gonna try that out because I do weekly reading vlogs here, and I love reading vlogs, but I want to see how a thematic, dedicated video for a reading vlog would do on the main channel. I'm hopeful that it'll do well, because I wouldn't mind doing some themed vlogs every now and then over there. And The Magicians is a series that I both aggressively love and aggressively hate, so I think that it's a good one to just give it its own dedicated little reading vlog. So I am currently in The Magician's King. I love it. There have been rants, there have been raves, it's going great, and we'll talk about that more. And then there will also be a spoiler discussion on this channel for the whole trilogy. Lots of Magicians content lately. But I'm obsessed with the series. Obsessive love, obsessive hatred, I've got it all. Anyway, that's the reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. All the hiking footage was from our hiking weekend that we had last week. It was an amazing trip, so I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the footage from it. And I hope you're doing well. I post videos every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel, Mondays and Fridays on the main channel. I'll see you again soon. Bye.